Hey guys, today I'm going to be reviewing The Summer That Melted Everything by Tiffany McDaniel. This book in ebook form was kindly given to me by the author in exchange for an honest review. It's about a boy who's 13 years old. His name is Fielding Bliss. He lives in a small town in Ohio. It's a fictional town, it's made up, but it's based in Ohio. It's the summer of 1984. Another 13-year-old boy shows up who claimed to be the devil himself, answering an invitation to come to the town. Obviously, since he's a 13-year-old boy, no one takes this mysterious kid seriously. They just think he's a runaway from another town. So Fielding's family take him in. Pretty much some weird stuff starts to happen. Tensions build in the town. A heat wave comes. It's a really hot summer, and there's this kid who claims to be the devil. So that's kind of the premise of the whole story. I'm not going to go into too many details about the plot in this review. It's going to be spoiler free, so if that's something you're worried about, rest assured I'm not going to be spoiling anything. It sounds very, very bizarre, and it was very, very bizarre, but I would honestly say that this book is so good that I think it will become a modern classic. Like I said, it's set in the summer of 1984, but it's told by Fielding when he's an old man, so he's looking back on his life on this particular summer and thinking about everything that's happened since then as well. The setting was really, really fantastic. Reading it, I could really feel the heat wave that was happening, and I felt like I was really familiar with the town. Also, I just want to make a note that even though it's set in Ohio, it felt like it was set in the deep south of America. And I think maybe that was just because it was kind of giving me To Kill a Mockingbird vibes. I don't know, there are just so many great American classics set in the South, and I feel like this should be one of them, but it was set in Ohio, so just wanted to throw that out there. It felt like a southern book. I really loved the way that this book was written. Hearing the whole thing from Fielding's point of view, but in his hindsight, gave the story so much more depth. And there were also a whole lot of incredible stories within the story. Most of the time they were told by Sal, who is the kid that's claiming to be the devil. He told a lot of stories, and I really, really like that in any book. If there's a story within the story, I just think it gives a story so much more insight and meaning than it would otherwise have. And in particular in this book, it just worked really well. It gave our characters a way to make sense of the world, and there was always some kind of connection in the story that he was telling to what was going on. So I thought that was very, very well done. Also, there's a lot of symbolism used in this book, and it's been a long time since I've read a book that's done that. It was really, really nice to read that, and it was actually done really well as well, which can be hard sometimes because you can overkill the symbolism, but it was done exquisitely, and everything just interwove so nicely, and everything linked up and connected together in a way that really made sense and really made an impact and kind of achieved what she was trying to achieve. So yeah. All the characters in this book as well were very, very detailed and also very, very flawed. Something that Tiffany kind of puts across in this book is that everyone has some good and some evil in them, and she expresses that in the way that she's represented her characters. It's not done in like a basic or a stereotypical kind of way. They're all complicated people and, like I said, very detailed, and so you can tell that she's thought about every single element of all of them. She's thought about every little thing. Linked to that as well, one thing that I really liked about this book was the characters' names and the name of the town as well. All of the characters' names had some kind of link to who they were as a person, which I thought was really cool. And the meanings of those characters' names were often woven into the story as well. Like it would come out and explain why that character's name was that. Fielding's dad's name is Autopsy, and that's kind of told like straight up why his name is Autopsy, which is kind of necessary because it's a pretty weird name. But a lot of the other names, it's subtle, and it keeps kind of being referred back to throughout the story as to why their name might mean that. So yeah, I just really liked how names were used. The most significant element of this book that I would say from my opinion is the themes in it. It deals with a whole lot of things such as racism, homophobia, mob mentality, justice, faith, and good and evil. And I would say most important was the idea that fear is often the driving force behind evil. We kind of have it in our heads that fear is the result of evil, but from reading this book, I kind of started to think fear is like the force behind it. Not only that, but we as humanity create evil through our own actions. You know, evil isn't some force that's external to us. Not only do we create evil through our own actions, we then are always looking for someone or something else to blame. So I thought that was a really interesting idea. I would also say that this is a very emotional book throughout a lot of it I had a lump in my throat, like I was on the verge of tears. It's a really tragic story in which really terrible things happen. And like I was saying about, you know, fear being the driving force behind evil and all of that, it reminded me that that's what the world is like. But it also kind of just made me think, let's just all be good to each other, you know, because how hard is it really? You know, it should be that simple. Like I said, it's a very strange, very weird book, but everything that you kind of read and you're like, that's weird, it gets explained later as the story is unfolding. And I would say that it's probably, honestly, one of the best and one of the most important books that I've ever read. So I would highly recommend it. If you're into classics or if you're into literary fiction, I feel like this is something that you'll enjoy. Like I said, it reminded me, just not from what it's about or anything, maybe some of the themes that it deals with, but the aesthetic of it reminded me of To Kill a Mockingbird. If you like those kind of books, you'll probably really like this. If you don't like those kind of books, you will not like this. I know a lot of people won't, because it is a little bit of a hard read, I guess. It's not a very nice book. It's not, none of the things talked about in it are nice. So needless to say, I gave this book a 5 out of 5 stars. Totally recommend, like I said. I want to say thank you to Tiffany for letting me read this book to review it for you guys. I forgot to mention in the beginning of this video that this book actually comes out today as I'm putting this video up, which is Tuesday the 26th of July. If you're watching this as soon as I put it up, it might be tomorrow for you that it comes out. It's just that it's the 26th already for me because New Zealand's like a day ahead, so yeah, I thought I'd put this up today because it's like good timing. So definitely go check this book out. I'm definitely going to be buying a physical copy of this book because it's one that I have to have on my shelves. There's a book trailer if you want to go watch that and get kind of a vibe for the book as well. I'll link that down below, as well as where you can buy it and the Goodreads page for the book if you want to read a like plot summary or whatever for it as well, or if you want to read my review of it on Goodreads. So thank you guys for watching this, and I will see you with my next video in a couple days. Bye.